The story of Destin's East Pass. The original East Pass, used by Leonard Destin and the early local fishermen, was located at the present site of the Riviera on the Gulf Condo, the back portion of the current harbor. Water extended from the bay into the old Pass Lagoon, across what is now Gulf Shore Drive, and onto a natural pass into the Gulf of Mexico. The early settlers made their homes and fish camps along the shores of Old Pass Lagoon, as well as home sites along Choctawhatchee Bay. After a storm in 1926, tremendous flooding north of the bay flooded into the rivers and tributaries running into the Choctawhatchee Bay. The water level in the bay had risen to a point threatening the settlers' docks. One evening, O.T. Melvin Sr. and his fishing crew, Dewey Destin Sr., Arn Sticklin, and Dolph Weekly, were discussing this situation. Noticing the currents in the bay, they believed a trench dug through the sand at the end of Santa Rosa Island would allow the water to easily escape into the Gulf. These men, armed with shovels and boat oars, dug a small trench, and sure enough, the water drained out of the bay into the Gulf. Choctawhatchee Bay is approximately 27 miles in length and averages 5 miles across. With the changing tide, the trench became wider and wider, and a new channel was created that would become the Destin East Pass of today. Over the next several years, the shifting sand filled in the old channel. The new pass requires periodic maintenance dredging to keep it at the necessary navigational depth. Rock jetties were installed to help stabilize the pass opening. Destin's East Pass is a feature of Destin, which is one of the most picturesque sights when the beautiful blue-green waters of the incoming tide showcase their entrance into the bay. This historic event did two things for Destin. It created a sheltered harbor, which has become the home to the largest licensed commercial charter fishing fleet in the state of Florida. And it has also changed the ecosystem of the bay. Prior to the event, Choctawhatchee Bay was very brackish. More freshwater than salt due to being freshwater spring and river fed, with the Gulf waters having to meander their way through the old East Pass into the bay through the lagoon. With the closing of the old pass and the opening of the new pass, the saltier Gulf waters flowed straight and strong right into the bay, increasing the salinity. A daily tide was created. When this occurred, the freshwater fish went back up into the rivers, and the freshwater grasses and bulrushes died. More salt-tolerant grasses began to grow, and the ecosystem of the bay began to change. Plenty of sea life exists in the bay, but it is somewhat different than it was prior to 1926. Two historic notes. Indian artifacts found along the shores of the Choctawhatchee Bay date back 12,000 to 15,000 years. European explorers noted that if you did not have an Indian guide on your ship, you could sail right past the original pass and not see it. It was offset in such a way that the shadows cast from the sand dunes and the pine trees cast a shadow on the opening. No wonder there is so much pirate lore and sunken buried treasure lore, whether it is true or not. Choctawhatchee Bay is a huge hidey hole for the period of that time. Look closely at the exhibit and you will see a hand drawing done of the original pass in 1693 by a conquistador. Even our little pass has its own unique history.